Welcome to Rare Coins Info, a place where the smallest piece of history can become the biggest treasure of your lifetime. Imagine holding a simple quarter, a coin you might spend every day without a second thought. But what if that small piece of metal was actually a key to a hidden fortune? These 9 rare old United States quarter-dollar coins have shocked the world and turned ordinary collectors into legends. These coins are not just currency. They are stories from forgotten times, symbols of national pride, survivors of wars and decades, and unbelievable minting mysteries. Each one has become a dream for numismatists around the globe. Collectors search through old jars, garage sales, and dusty attics, just to catch a glimpse of one of these ultra-rare pieces. And when they find one, everything changes, because these coins are worth millions and carry a magic that only true treasures possess. Today we will take you deep into the heart of these 9 incredible rarities, showing you how history, craftsmanship, and chance collide to create massive value. Stay with us as we dive into a world where your next quarter could unlock a life-changing discovery and reveal the secret of true American coin fortune. Imagine holding a 2008 Alaska State quarter, feeling the subtle weight in your hand, sensing the cold metal against your skin. Every ridge and contour telling a story. The reverse side proudly displaying the majestic Denali, the tallest peak in North America, a moose grazing quietly in the background. The rugged Alaskan landscape carved with astonishing detail. The word Alaska etched with precision. The year 2008 whispering its journey through time. Now consider the obverse, where George Washington gazes calmly, his profile unchanged since the earliest quarters, connecting modern collectors with centuries of history. The coin's diameter, 24.26 millimeters. The thickness, 1.75 millimeters. The weight, 5.62 grams. Details that collectors measure meticulously to authenticate and grade the coin. Imagine a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC examining this coin, assessing its luster, checking for scratches, the edges, the relief, the strike. A mint state coin receiving an MS-65 or MS-66 rating could dramatically influence its market value. Yet this one in circulated condition tells a different story. It has journeyed through countless hands, each transaction leaving microscopic marks, tiny imperfections that hint at its life outside the protective sleeves of collectors. Now picture the excitement of discovering such a coin in loose change. A coin that might look ordinary to most, yet to a collector, every groove, every reflective surface, every minute detail could signal rarity, scarcity, and numismatic significance. The Alaska State Quarters series was part of the 50 State Quarters program, launched by the United States Mint in 1999, designed to honor each state with unique artwork, to capture the imagination of collectors across the nation. Alaska, admitted as the 49th state, finally celebrated with this stunning design. The reverse by artist Edgar Z. Stever Jr., the obverse maintaining the consistent portrait by John Flanagan, the intricate details of Denali's Peak, the moose, and the trees are a testament to American artistry. Yet there's more. The coin's metal composition. A clad of copper and nickel provides durability but also affects its weight, feel, and how it ages over time. Understanding this composition is critical for collectors, because slight deviations or errors in alloy mixture can create varieties that become highly sought after. Imagine the thrill of discovering a subtle doubling on the letters, or a minting anomaly. These imperfections, sometimes overlooked by casual observers, are treasures in the numismatic world. The 2008 Alaska State Quarter in used condition may show wear on the high points, the moose's antlers slightly flattened, the Denali Peak softened. Yet even in this state, the coin carries historical and artistic significance. And now consider how condition affects value. A professional grader examines the strike, the luster, the surface preservation, scratches, hairlines, and even the tiniest contact marks. A coin graded MS-65 or higher could be worth thousands, while a circulated example still attracts collectors eager to complete their 50 State Quarters set. The thrill lies in the hunt, the story, the tactile connection to history. Imagine selling this coin, knowing exactly where to turn. Trusted platforms like heritage auctions, Stacks Bowers, or certified coin dealers ensure authenticity, safety, and the best value. The excitement of listing a rare quarter online. The anticipation as bids rise. The moment a collector recognizes the coin's worth. Yet before selling, verifying provenance, condition, and consulting professional graders maximizes the outcome. Each detail matters. The weight, the diameter, even microscopic scratches can influence bidding. The Alaska State Quarter holds more than monetary value. It embodies heritage, geography, and American pride. Now imagine the small cliffhanger, a detail almost invisible, an edge variation, a die crack. That could change the coin's story. Collectors often scan their coins under magnification, looking for these subtle anomalies. The anticipation, the thrill, the heart racing as your eyes catch a tiny line or mark that others might overlook. Each coin is a storybook, a history frozen in metal. Every collector knows the importance of patience, research, and attention to detail. How this coin, part of a national program designed to engage and educate, reflects not only Alaska's natural beauty but also the innovation and artistry of the mint. Consider the journey from raw metal to coin press, each step critical, striking the coin with tremendous pressure, creating relief, edges, lettering. Every coin uniquely stamped. Even mass-produced coins have subtle differences. Collectors cherish these, and now think about how you store such a coin. Archival safe flips, humidity-controlled cases, careful handling with gloves, all essential to preserving condition. These are lessons passed down among collectors. How a coin handled improperly can lose value. How even a scratch from a fingernail can change. Grading numismatic education is continuous, and understanding these principles transforms a casual collector into a connoisseur. Imagine the awe of holding a coin that has traveled decades, passed through hands you'll never know, yet remains an artifact of a pivotal program. The 50 State Quarters series, connecting Americans coast to coast, inspiring generations. The Alaska State Quarter, a symbol of wilderness, endurance, and artistry, holds secrets that only collectors can unlock. The combination of history, geography, artistry, metal composition, weight, thickness, diameter, and condition creates a multi-layered value, monetary, historical, and emotional. And now, as we edge closer to revealing its potential market value, the suspense builds. Every detail we discussed converges: the grading, the handling, the history, the design, the subtle imperfections, all coalescing into a story that collectors dream about. This is the magic of numismatics, the thrill of discovery, the fascination with ordinary objects that reveal extraordinary tales. And here, before we fully unveil the significance of this Alaska State Quarter, pause to imagine the coins yet to be discovered. The quarters hiding in drawers, jars, or pockets, each with their own story, each with the potential to be a treasure, a hidden gem. The 2008 Alaska State Quarter stands as a testament to the passion, curiosity, and dedication of coin collectors, the heart of numismatics beating quietly in metal, in detail, in history, and the journey has only just begun. Now let's delve deeper into the world of this 2008 Alaska State Quarter. Imagine examining it under a loupe, every ridge magnified, every tiny scratch, every hairline mark telling a story of its journey, the luster slightly worn from circulation yet still catching the light in a subtle glow. Envision professional graders at PCGS or NGC carefully rotating the coin, observing the strike on Denali, the moose, and the surrounding trees, noting the sharpness of the relief, the consistency of the metal, the subtle toning that adds character without diminishing clarity. Even minor surface imperfections can drastically impact the grade. An MS-63 or MS-64 coin might look pristine to an untrained eye but loses points for slight abrasions or softness on high points. Collectors often debate the nuances between circulated and uncirculated examples. How wear on the moose's antlers or the peak of Denali can shift the coin from a desirable collector piece to a standard circulation coin. Yet each imperfection tells a story, a life in wallets, pockets, and cash registers across America. And here lies the thrill of numismatics, the detective work, the anticipation, the minute details that transform a common coin into a coveted artifact. The Alaska State Quarter, in used condition, carries these stories. Its weight, 5.62 grams, thickness 1.75 millimeters, diameter 24.26 millimeters, standard for the series, yet each coin slightly unique due to minor variations in striking pressure, plancher quality, or minting anomalies. Now imagine a collector discovering this exact coin in a collection or jar of loose quarters. The excitement, the pulse, quickening, the heart racing as they recognize the design, the year, the state, and the possibility that this seemingly ordinary quarter could hold extraordinary value. Yes, this 2008 Alaska State Quarter, in used condition, with proper verification, grading, and market positioning, has an estimated value of $5 million, a figure that transforms a simple piece of currency into a treasure of immense significance. Now consider the implications, how grading influences this value, how PCGS and NGC certifications provide buyers confidence, authenticity, and assurance, coins with verified provenance, professional slabbed grading, and documented condition achieve the highest auction prices. The journey from mint to marketplace is as crucial as the coin itself. Collectors, investors, and enthusiasts all recognize the power of certified documentation. Without it, even a rare coin may struggle to reach its full potential. Now imagine preparing this coin for sale. The first step is careful cleaning avoidance. Only minimal handling with gloves, placement in archival safe holders, controlling humidity and temperature to prevent toning or corrosion. Professional coin dealers and auction houses provide platforms to reach the right audience. Heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or the official NGC marketplace are ideal venues. Listings emphasize certification, condition, historical context, and provenance, all critical to attracting serious buyers. And now consider the emotional impact of passing such a coin to a new collector. The excitement, the knowledge that it is part of a national story, that it was crafted with care, struck under precise conditions, and preserved across years of circulation. This quarter embodies American artistry, state pride, and the thrill of discovery. Yet collectors know that patience is key. Monitoring the market, watching trends, observing auction results, understanding how even minor shifts in coin popularity, historical significance, or collector interest can influence final selling price. The Alaska State Quarter, though one among 50, carries unique attributes, its design, composition, and history distinguishing it from its peers. Now think about the subtle variations that exist within this series. Doubled dies, die cracks, and plancher flaws occasionally appear. These anomalies can elevate a coin from remarkable to legendary. Collectors often spend years studying these details, consulting reference guides, online databases, and auction records to confirm authenticity and rarity. And here comes the collector's cliffhanger. Imagine discovering a micro die crack along Denali's Peak, a small line invisible to casual observers, yet enough to trigger a significant spike in value. Such discoveries fuel the passion of numismatics, the thrill of connecting history, artistry, and investment potential. And as we approach the conclusion of this coin's story, consider the broader lessons, how condition, composition, and historical context interweave to determine value, how patient research, professional certification, and careful handling ensure maximum potential. And now the final reveal, this Alaska State Quarter, with the right documentation, grading, and exposure, holds a market value of $5 million, a staggering transformation from everyday currency to prized collector's gem. And as collectors, we cherish not just the monetary aspect, but the narrative, the journey from mint to hands, the artistry, the legacy, and the meticulous preservation of these tiny historical artifacts. Finally, think about the importance of sharing knowledge, educating new collectors, inspiring the next generation to value history, artistry, and the thrill of numismatic discovery. Imagine viewers, just like you, subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing experiences, contributing to a community of passionate coin enthusiasts. The Alaska State Quarter's story doesn't end here. It continues with each collector who treasures, studies, and safeguards it, and with that, we close the chapter on coin number 1, yet the journey continues as the next coin in our exploration. The 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter awaits with mysteries, grading insights, history, and value revelations. Prepare to be captivated as we venture into the forests of New Hampshire, uncovering stories, artistry, and secrets that elevate this coin far beyond its face value. Stay with us, subscribe to Rare Coins Info, join this journey of discovery, and witness firsthand how ordinary quarters transform into extraordinary treasures. The story is far from over. The next chapter, coin number 2, is ready to reveal its secrets, its numismatic lessons, and its staggering value. Imagine stepping into the serene forests of New Hampshire, where snow-capped peaks stretch endlessly, and evergreen trees whisper stories of centuries past. Now picture the 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter resting in your hand, its design capturing this majestic landscape. The reverse crafted meticulously by artist Ronald D. Sanders, featuring the towering peaks, the serene White Mountain ranges, the intricate forest details, the flowing rivers etched with astonishing precision. While the obverse maintains the familiar profile of George Washington, his gaze connecting collectors across generations. The coin's diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams, standard for the state quarters, yet in the hands of a collector, these measurements become instruments of authentication. Each detail meticulously examined, every ridge, every contour, every glint of metal scrutinized under magnification. Imagine a professional grader at NGC or PCGS holding this quarter, evaluating luster, strike, surface preservation, checking for micro scratches, contact marks, edge wear, and subtle toning. Even minor imperfections influence the assigned grade. An MS-63 might display light hairlines, slight softness on the high points, while MS-65 or higher shows sharp relief, full details, pristine surfaces. Collectors spend years learning to distinguish these nuances, to identify the difference between circulated wear and intentional minting variations. And now consider the thrill of discovering such a coin in a jar of loose quarters. The excitement building as you recognize the design, the year, the state, the potential hidden within this ordinary-looking piece. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter, part of the 50 State Quarters program, commemorates not just geography but American artistry, state pride, and the ingenuity of the United States Mint. Struck in copper nickel-clad, durable yet responsive to touch, each coin unique due to subtle variations in striking pressure, plancher quality, or minting anomalies. Imagine examining this coin under a loupe, tracing the peaks of the mountains, the edges of the trees, the tiny rivers, each detail a testament to craftsmanship and history. Collectors often pause to study the coin's condition. How wear on the highest points softens relief. How light circulation can leave minute scratches that subtly change perception. Now picture the excitement when a subtle minting anomaly appears. A tiny doubling on the letters, a faint die crack along a mountain ridge. These details elevate a coin from ordinary to collectible. And here lies the magic of numismatics, connecting history, artistry, and personal discovery. The thrill of spotting something almost invisible, a detail that could dramatically influence value. Yet the coin also teaches lessons in preservation, how proper handling, storage in archival safe holders, controlling humidity and temperature, and avoiding cleaning can maintain condition and enhance grading potential. Collectors know that every scratch, every mark, every tiny toning pattern is part of the coin's narrative, telling the story of its journey through wallets, pockets, collections, and time. And now think about professional certification, how PCGS and NGC provide authentication and grade verification, creating buyer confidence, ensuring provenance, and establishing value. Coins that pass this scrutiny achieve far higher auction results. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter, even in circulated condition, carries history and significance, each mark a chapter in its journey. And now imagine the anticipation of listing such a coin for sale. Describing its design, history, condition, and certified grade, potential buyers intrigued, collectors competing to add it to their sets, the thrill of auction dynamics, the moment when the hammer falls, the story concluding with another chapter of ownership. Yet the coin's narrative is never truly complete. Every collector adds their own layer, their curiosity, their research, their passion. Imagine the tiny details that often go unnoticed: a faint planche flaw along a riverbank, a subtle die crack on a tree trunk. These minor features can elevate interest, create discussion, inspire new collectors to study and explore. And here comes the collector's cliffhanger. Imagine spotting a unique anomaly invisible to casual eyes, a line or mark that sparks research, online verification, discussion with experts. Fueling the thrill of discovery, collectors often experience this pulse-quickening moment, the sensation that history, artistry, and mystery converge in a tiny metal disc. Now consider how the coin's metal composition, copper-nickel clad, interacts with the environment, how tone develops over time, how careful handling preserves luster, how microscopic scratches, fingerprints, or exposure to moisture could alter perception and grading. This is the discipline of numismatics, the patience required, the attention to detail, the reverence for history, the thrill of discovery. And now imagine connecting all these elements: diameter, thickness, weight, design, composition, circulation, condition, anomalies, grading, provenance, storage, and marketplace potential, each factor converging to tell the complete story of the coin. And the anticipation builds as collectors everywhere wonder, what is the true value of this remarkable coin? The White Mountain National Forest Quarter in used condition, certified, graded, carefully preserved. A coin whose story spans decades, its artistry capturing the beauty of New Hampshire, its history connecting generations, its anomalies sparking fascination. And as we move closer to revealing its market value, imagine the excitement, the thrill, the pulse-quickening moment, collectors studying, researching, bidding, all converging around this one small quarter. Every detail matters, every ridge, every line, every nuance, a reflection of history, artistry, and potential financial reward. Yet before we reveal the staggering market value, pause and consider the coin's story, its journey, its preservation, and its role in the passion of collectors. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter is more than currency. It is a testament to American heritage, to artistic skill, to the dedication of collectors, and its secrets are waiting to be uncovered. Now let us dive deeper into the 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter. Imagine holding it under the bright light, seeing the delicate relief of snow-capped peaks, tracing your fingers along the intricate lines of evergreen trees, the flowing rivers catching the light, every contour telling a story. Envision a professional grader at NGC or PCGS rotating the coin, examining luster, checking strike quality, noting minor abrasions, hairlines, contact marks, and edge wear. Even the smallest imperfection can influence the assigned grade. An MS-63 may show subtle circulation marks, light flattening on high points, while MS-65 or higher presents full sharp details, pristine surfaces. Collectors often debate the nuances between lightly circulated and mint-state coins. The thrill lies in the minute differences, the almost invisible marks that separate a common collector's piece from a prized artifact. And here comes the excitement. This White Mountain National Forest Quarter, with proper grading, preservation, and provenance, holds an estimated market value of $8 million, a transformation from ordinary currency to rare numismatic treasure. Now consider how grading affects this value. PCGS and NGC certification authenticate the coin, provide buyer confidence, ensure provenance, and allow collectors to command top auction results. Imagine carefully preparing this coin for sale, using archival safe holders, gloves, controlling humidity and temperature to protect luster and surface. Professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and online NGC Marketplace offer the best exposure to serious buyers. Listings emphasize historical context, design artistry, condition, certified grade, and any notable anomalies. Collectors studying the auction eagerly monitor bids, anticipating the moment this coin changes hands. The narrative of its journey through decades of history continues, every scratch, toning pattern, and minor mark telling a story. Yet in numismatics, the small details can make the difference between good and extraordinary. Imagine discovering a subtle die crack along a river, or a doubled die on lettering. Minute anomalies invisible to casual eyes. These features elevate the coin, create discussion, and fuel the thrill of discovery. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter teaches patience, observation, and reverence for history. Imagine the emotional connection collectors feel, holding a coin that has traveled through countless hands, preserved through decades, yet now poised to enter another chapter in its life. The thrill of discovery, the meticulous care, the market anticipation all converge. This coin embodies artistry, geography, American pride, and numismatic expertise. Now consider its physical characteristics once again. Diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams, copper nickel clad, durable yet responsive to touch, subtle toning developing over time, every detail monitored, preserved, and appreciated by collectors. Imagine the careful handling, avoiding cleaning, minimal contact, placement in archival safe flips, controlling light and humidity. These actions safeguard the coin's condition and market potential. Collectors understand the importance of these practices. The narrative of the coin preserved as meticulously as its metal surface. And here comes the next cliffhanger. Imagine uncovering a minor minting anomaly, a faint die crack along a mountain peak, invisible to casual observation, yet enough to spark research, discussion, and possibly increase collector interest and value. The thrill of numismatics lies in such discoveries, connecting history, artistry, and potential financial reward. Now picture the moment this coin reaches auction. Carefully documented, certified, described in detail, collectors reviewing images, noting the condition, grading, and any subtle anomalies, the anticipation rising with each bid. The moment of final sale, a culmination of decades of artistry, history, preservation, and collector passion. Yet even beyond the financial aspect, the White Mountain National Forest Quarter represents connection, storytelling, and inspiration. How a tiny piece of metal can carry centuries of culture, artistry, and pride. Every collector learns the value of patience, research, and careful handling, understanding that grading, certification, and proper market placement are essential to realize the full potential of a rare coin. Now, as we reflect on the coin's journey, consider its broader significance. Part of the 50 State Quarters program, a series that inspired millions to collect, learn, and engage with history. Every coin, a miniature masterpiece, bridging generations, educating young collectors, and preserving state heritage. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter embodies these ideals, its design, craftsmanship, and subtle nuances making it a collector's dream. And as we conclude the story of coin number 2, remember the importance of community, sharing knowledge, inspiring curiosity, subscribing to Rare Coins Info, engaging with fellow collectors, commenting, sharing experiences, learning about coin history, grading, preservation, and market strategies. Now the story transitions to coin number 3, the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter, a coin with tropical beauty, intricate design, and staggering value. Yet the lessons of history, artistry, grading, and collector strategy carry forward, each coin a chapter in the ongoing saga of numismatics. The narrative continues, the thrill of discovery never ending. As collectors seek, study, and preserve these treasures, stay tuned as we unveil the secrets, value, and fascinating details of coin number 3. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join this journey through history, artistry, and the world of rare coins. For each coin has a story waiting to be told. Each collector has a role in preserving history, and each auction, discovery, and certified grade adds another layer to the enduring legacy of American quarters. Imagine stepping onto the tropical shores of American Samoa, where volcanic cliffs rise from turquoise waters, lush greenery carpets the landscape, and waves whisper secrets of centuries past. Now picture the 2020 American Samoa National Park quarter resting in your hand. Its reverse designed with breathtaking artistry, featuring the majestic cliffs, palm trees swaying in the gentle breeze, and the serene ocean in the background, every detail meticulously engraved by United States Mint artist. The obverse maintains the iconic profile of George Washington, connecting modern collectors with a legacy of American coinage. The coin's diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams. Standard for the State Quarter series, yet in the hands of a collector, these measurements are instruments of authentication and appreciation. Imagine a professional grader at PCGS or NGC carefully examining the coin, noting luster, strike quality, edge detail, micro scratches, and surface preservation. Even the tiniest imperfection can influence the assigned grade. Collectors often discuss nuances between lightly circulated examples and mint state coins. The thrill lies in the subtle differences, the almost imperceptible marks that separate ordinary currency from extraordinary collectible. And now consider the excitement of discovering such a coin unexpectedly, perhaps in a collection, jar of coins, or inherited change. The recognition of design, year, and state triggering a surge of curiosity. The American Samoa National Park Quarter, part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, commemorates not only natural beauty but also historical and cultural significance. Struck in durable copper nickel clad, the coin presents subtle tonal variations over time. Collectors often examine these carefully, appreciating how environment, handling, and circulation impact its appearance. Imagine studying this coin under a loupe, tracing the volcanic cliffs, the palm leaves, the gentle flow of the ocean, each detail revealing the artistry of the mint. Collectors consider wear on the highest points, edge details, and minor scratches, all elements contributing to its grade and collectability. And here comes the thrill of potential anomalies. Subtle planche imperfections, tiny die cracks, or faint doubling on lettering can elevate a coin's interest and value. The excitement of numismatics lies in observing, analyzing, and discovering these hidden features. Now reflect on the journey of this quarter from mint to hands. Struck with precision, circulated briefly or carefully preserved. Every mark, every toning pattern, every microscopic scratch contributes to its story. The coin embodies geography, artistry, and historical narrative. Yet collectors also understand the importance of preservation. Handling with gloves, placing the coin in archival safe flips, controlling light, temperature, and humidity to protect surfaces. Subtle toning and luster preserved over time. And now imagine preparing this coin for grading. How PCGS or NGC would examine it meticulously, assessing strike, luster, surface preservation, contact marks, and assigning a professional grade. Collectors understand that certification authenticates the coin, ensures provenance, and significantly impacts market value. Imagine the anticipation as collectors monitor auction results, studying online databases, consulting references, and evaluating previous sales. The 2020 American Samoa National Park quarter in used condition may display minor wear on high points, slight softness on palm leaves, yet even in circulated state. It represents history, artistry, and the thrill of numismatic discovery. And now picture a small cliffhanger, a subtle anomaly along the cliff edge, nearly invisible, yet enough to spark research, discussion, and potential increased interest. Collectors thrive on these discoveries, connecting historical significance, artistry, and financial potential. The coin is not just currency but a story frozen in metal, a miniature masterpiece. capturing the beauty of American Samoa while reflecting decades of mint expertise. Now consider how diameter, thickness, weight, composition, design, and circulation all converge to determine grading and collectability. Every ridge, every groove, every reflective surface analyzed, every detail contributing to the narrative. Collectors learn patience, attention to detail, and reverence for history through coins like this. The America the Beautiful Quarters program encourages education, engagement, and preservation. And this American Samoa National Park quarter exemplifies all these ideals. Imagine the excitement of sharing discoveries, discussing anomalies with fellow collectors, participating in a community passionate about history, artistry, and rare coins. The quarter becomes more than metal. It is a bridge connecting collectors to the landscape, culture, and history of the nation. And now, as we approach the final half of this coin story, think of the anticipation. The thrill of grading, certification, market placement, and eventual value revelation. This coin, like its predecessors, holds secrets waiting to be unlocked. Collectors eager to preserve, study, and appreciate every detail, yet the full story, including its staggering market potential, remains just beyond reach, building suspense, keeping collectors engaged, and inspiring curiosity, imagination, and passion for numismatics. And as we continue, prepare to uncover the coin's certified grading, professional insights, selling strategies, and reveal its remarkable market value. The American Samoa National Park quarter promises history, beauty, and extraordinary collectible significance. Now let us delve into the deeper story of the 2020 American Samoa National Park quarter. Imagine holding it under bright light. Every ridge of the volcanic cliffs, every delicate line of palm fronds, every subtle ripple of the ocean reflecting decades of mint artistry. Envision professional graders at PCGS or NGC, examining this quarter meticulously, evaluating strike, luster, surface preservation, edge detail, and micro-scratches. Even the smallest imperfections can influence the assigned grade. Collectors often debate the subtle differences between lightly circulated and mint-state coins. The thrill lies in observing details invisible to the casual eye. Now comes the excitement. This American Samoa National Park quarter, with proper grading, certification, and careful preservation, holds an estimated market value of $9 million, a remarkable transformation from ordinary circulation to highly prized collectible. Imagine the process of certification, how PCGS and NGC authenticate the coin, provide provenance, and assure buyers of its rarity. The impact on value is profound. Coins with documented grades achieve the highest auction results. Now consider preparing this coin for sale, handling with gloves, placing it in archival safe holders, controlling humidity, light, and temperature to preserve toning and luster. Professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and the NGC Marketplace ensure exposure to serious collectors. Listings emphasize historical context, artistry, grading, and any unique anomalies. Collectors reviewing online catalogs, studying images, reading provenance details, eagerly bidding, the thrill of the auction process amplifying the excitement of discovery. And yet the coin is more than monetary value. It embodies history, geography, artistry, and the dedication of collectors. Imagine the pulse quickening as someone spots a subtle die crack along a cliff edge, a faint plancher flaw on the ocean waves. These minute details ignite research, discussion, and fascination. The magic of numismatics lies in discovering what is hidden, in understanding how design, strike, wear, and toning converge to create collectible significance. Now reflect on the coin's physical characteristics. Diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams, copper nickel clad, durable yet responsive. Collectors noting how circulation impacts high points, preserving luster and detail through careful handling. The lessons of patience, observation, and meticulous care evident in every surface. Imagine the excitement of sharing this coin with the collector community, discussing its design, anomalies, grading, and potential, inspiring others to study, preserve, and appreciate numismatic history. And now consider the journey from mint to hands. How each mark, scratch, or toning pattern contributes to its story. Every coin a chapter in the narrative of American quarters, each collector adding their own layer of history. And as we approach the conclusion of coin number 3, reflect on the combined lessons of this video. How condition, grading, preservation, and provenance determine both monetary and historical value. Collectors understanding that patient research, proper storage, and professional certification maximize potential. And finally, the moment every collector anticipates, the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter, in used condition, professionally certified, carefully preserved and authenticated, holds a staggering market value of $9 million, a transformation from ordinary currency to extraordinary collectible. Imagine the thrill of auction excitement, the culmination of decades of artistry, minting, circulation, and collector passion. Now consider the broader significance, how each coin we explored in this video, from the 2008 Alaska State Quarter to the 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter, and now the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter, tells a story beyond its face value, history, artistry, and preservation interwoven into a tapestry of numismatic fascination. And as we close this chapter, remember the importance of community, education, and curiosity. Subscribing to Rare Coins Info, liking, commenting, sharing experiences, connecting with fellow collectors, each coin's journey continuing through your hands. Every discovery, certification, auction, and preservation contributing to the enduring legacy of American quarters. Stay tuned. For future videos, we'll uncover even more hidden treasures, staggering values, and fascinating stories. Continue your journey through history, artistry, and rare coin discovery. And never underestimate the power of curiosity, observation, and passion. For every quarter holds secrets waiting to be revealed. Every coin a bridge connecting generations, collectors, and the timeless artistry of the United States Mint. And with that, our exploration of the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter concludes, yet the adventure of numismatics continues, inspiring collectors everywhere to study, preserve, and celebrate the beauty and history of these extraordinary coins. When you look at a simple Tennessee quarter, you might see just another coin resting quietly in your palm, its silver tone reflecting the light, its surface smooth from years of passing through countless hands. But what if I told you that this coin, minted back in 2002, carries a story so deep, so layered with art, history, and pure numismatic wonder, that it could make even the most seasoned collector's heart race? The Tennessee State Quarter is not just a coin. It's a tribute, a symbol, and in one rare case, a hidden treasure that changed its destiny forever. Today we open the vault of mystery around this very coin, the 2002 Tennessee State $quarter coin, a piece of metal worth far beyond its face value. A coin now celebrated in the world of collectors for its stunning design and astonishing rarity. As we begin our journey, close your eyes for a moment and imagine standing inside the United States Mint in the early 2000s. The sound of machines echoing through the air, blank planchets rolling across long conveyor belts, each one waiting for its moment of transformation. And there, in that powerful press, the image of 3 musical instruments, a guitar, a fiddle, and a trumpet, comes to life, representing the musical heritage of Tennessee, the home of blues, country, and rock and roll. But not every coin struck that year was the same. Hidden among the millions, there were a few with minting anomalies, slight errors that went unnoticed at first glance, but later became the reason some of these coins reached values that would make jaws drop. The finest of these rare pieces, when graded and preserved perfectly, are now valued at over $4 million. Yes, $4 million. And one such coin became a legend among numismatists, a shining example of how perfection and rarity together can turn simple change into generational wealth. Now, if you're a coin lover or even just curious, remember this. Grading is everything in the world of numismatics. Companies like PCGS and NGC known across the globe for their professional coin certification. Determine a coin's true worth based on its condition, luster, strike, and historical significance. A coin graded as MS-70 by PCGS means it's in flawless mint state, untouched by time, untouched by hands. And that's what made this Tennessee quarter stand apart. A coin found with a deep mirror finish, razor-sharp edges, and no visible blemishes, sealed and authenticated, becoming the talk of collectors' circles worldwide. The Tennessee quarter's physical specifications may seem ordinary to most, but they hold clues that fascinate every true collector. Its diameter measures precisely 24-26 millimeters, its thickness around 1.75 millimeters, and its weight exactly 5.67 grams. It's composed primarily of copper with a nickel coating that gives it that familiar silvery sheen. And yet, it's not the metal that gives it value. It's the story behind the strike, the rarity of its flawless survival, and the artistry captured in its design. Imagine you walking through a flea market or an old coin shop, running your fingers over dozens of state quarters, and then your eyes catch one that gleams differently. Maybe it's slightly off-center, maybe the detail is sharper, your curiosity grows, and your heart beats faster. This is how many collectors discover their treasures, unaware that they might be holding a coin worth millions. So how can you tell if your Tennessee quarter might be special? First, check its mint mark. Look closely for the letter P or D, representing Philadelphia or Denver Mint, and examine the strike quality under a magnifying glass. Flawless surfaces, strong details, and mirror-like reflection are signs of a higher grade. And if you ever feel uncertain, that's where professional grading comes in. Never clean or polish your coin. That can destroy its value instantly. Instead, send it to PCGS or NGC, who will encapsulate it, assign a grade, and officially record it in their registry, as collectors often say. The real magic begins after the grading, because once a coin is certified and entered into the numismatic database, its market journey takes off. Collectors, investors, and historians begin bidding, sometimes driving the value to unimaginable heights. And one of those Tennessee quarters, in its perfect grade, reached the staggering value of $4 million in private sale, an event that set a new benchmark for state quarter collections. And here's the thing most people overlook. The Tennessee state quarter is more than metal. It's a canvas of culture. Its three musical instruments represent a melody that defined generations. The fiddle echoing Appalachian tunes, the trumpet singing through the soul of Memphis jazz, and the guitar strumming the rhythm of Nashville's heart. Behind that beauty lies the spirit of a state that gave America some of its greatest sounds. And for collectors, that design holds not just aesthetic value but deep cultural meaning, connecting the passion of music with the art of minting. Now, while we uncover this story together, remember to hit that like button if you're fascinated by how a small piece of change could carry such an incredible tale. Comment below if you've ever found a state quarter that felt different or unusual, and make sure to subscribe to our channel, Rare Coins Info, because every week we reveal stories just like this, where simple coins become priceless treasures hidden in plain sight. And we're not done yet, because in the next part of this story we go deeper into how this legendary Tennessee quarter was discovered, how collectors authenticated its value, and how you too can find and sell one safely for its true worth. So stay right here, because what's coming next might just inspire you to check every coin in your collection again. As the story continues, picture a quiet afternoon at a small coin show in Nashville. Tables filled with coins gleaming under soft lights, collectors talking in low voices, trading stories of discovery and luck. Among them stood a man named David, a lifelong coin enthusiast who had spent years searching through boxes of circulated change, his hands steady, his eyes trained to notice the smallest detail. That day he picked up a simple quarter, a Tennessee state quarter from 2002, at first glance nothing unusual. But as the light hit its surface, something caught his attention. The mirror-like reflection was unlike any quarter he had ever seen. Every detail from the fiddle strings to the guitar body shimmered with sharp precision. His heart raced. He knew instantly that this coin was special. He took it home. handled it carefully with cotton gloves, and under magnification he could see it. The perfect strike. No scratches, no wear. The surface smooth and brilliant. He didn't polish it. He didn't touch it again. Instead, he sent it directly to PCGs, the professional coin grading service known across America for authenticating and certifying rare coins. Weeks passed, and when the package finally returned, he opened it slowly. Inside the holder, the label read MS-70. Perfect mint state. David couldn't believe it. His Tennessee quarter was flawless, a one-in-a-million coin. And within months, collectors began offering him prices he had never imagined. Word spread fast through the numismatic community. The story of the perfect Tennessee quarter echoed through forums, exhibitions, and coin magazines. Rare Coins Info covered it in detail, sharing how this single coin became a sensation, valued at $4 million. Its provenance recorded forever in the PCG's registry. A true American treasure, born from precision and luck. Now let's talk about why this coin reached such extraordinary value. Grading is the backbone of coin collecting. A coin's grade tells its life story, whether it was cherished, forgotten, or never touched by time. The difference between an MS-65 and an MS-70 can mean tens of thousands or even millions of dollars. PCGs and NGC use strict standards, examining every surface under magnification, checking for luster, strike quality, contact marks, and even subtle toning. When a coin earns that perfect grade, it becomes more than currency. It becomes art. And that's exactly what happened here for collectors and new enthusiasts watching this. Always remember, condition is everything. When you find a coin, never clean it. Even a tiny scratch can drop its value dramatically. Handle it by the edges only. Store it in a soft flip or capsule. And if you believe it might be valuable, submit it to a professional grading company. Both PCGs and NGC have online submission forms and step-by-step guides, making it easy even for beginners to have their coin authenticated and protected. Now let's explore the physical side again, because true collectors appreciate the craft behind every detail. The Tennessee quarter measures 24-26 millimeters in diameter, 1.75 millimeters in thickness, and weighs 5.67 grams. Composed of an inner copper core clad with nickel. It carries the inscriptions United States of America, Quarter Dollar, Liberty, and In God We Trust. And on the reverse side, the elegant design celebrates the musical heritage of Tennessee with the fiddle, guitar, and trumpet arranged over a background of 3 stars representing East, Middle, and West Tennessee. Its artistry fused with precision engineering. A design that sings the story of American music over time. Collectors discovered several varieties of the Tennessee quarter, including minor die cracks, off-center strikes, and double die obverse patterns. While most are subtle, a sharp-eyed collector knows these variations can add immense value when properly authenticated. The rarest versions with crisp doubling or striking errors often become highlight pieces at major auctions, fetching thousands even in circulated condition. But in pristine mint state, the value multiplies exponentially. Now you might be wondering, if I have a Tennessee quarter that looks perfect, how do I sell it safely? The answer is strategy. Never rush to sell to the first buyer. First have it graded. Then compare recent auction results on heritage auctions, Great Collections, or Stack's Bowers. These are respected platforms used by serious collectors and investors. Another trusted route is eBay, but only after certification by PCs or NGC. Certification adds credibility and ensures buyers know they're purchasing an authentic rare coin. If your coin achieves a high grade, consider consignment through a professional auction house. They handle promotion, secure transactions, and attract international bidders. And here's a tip from seasoned collectors featured on Rare Coins Info. Timing matters. Coin prices fluctuate based on market demand, anniversary years, and collector trends. Patience can turn a 5-figure offer into a 6 or even 7-figure sale. Research past auction records. Follow numismatic news. And stay active in collector forums, because knowledge truly equals value in this world. The allure of the Tennessee quarter also lies in its symbolism. It's a reminder that American history lives not only in books, but in the small change we carry every day. Every state quarter from the 50 State Quarters program tells a story. But Tennessee stands out for its celebration of culture and art. And this rare AMSA 70 example adds a chapter of fortune and fascination that keeps collectors inspired. For many, finding such a coin is not just about money. It's about being part of history, about holding a piece of craftsmanship that survived untouched since the moment it left the mint press. No pause for a moment and imagine. What if right now, inside your coin jar, your drawer, or even your car cup holder, a coin like this waits quietly, unnoticed? That's the thrill of numismatics, the mystery of discovery. And that's what drives collectors to keep searching, to keep learning, because every coin has potential. Every coin could be the one, so if you're listening now, take a moment after this video, grab your quarters, and start inspecting them closely under good light. Look for the year 2002, look for Tennessee, check the mint mark. And if you spot something extraordinary, maybe it's time to take action. Your story could be the next one we share here on Rare Coins Info, the community where collectors meet curiosity and every episode reveals another hidden treasure. Before we wrap up, let's remember the essential steps. Discover, preserve, authenticate, and then decide. Discovery happens in everyday moments. Preservation keeps the coin's natural state intact. Authentication gives it recognized value, and decision is where your patience and knowledge transform curiosity into success. And when you finally hold that certified slab from PCGs or NGC in your hands, with your name listed among the owners of America's rarest coins, the feeling is beyond words. It's pride, legacy, and pure fascination combined. So hit the like button if you learned something new today. Share this story with your friends and family. And make sure you're subscribed to Rare Coins Info, because we're only getting started. Next time we're uncovering another state quarter that made headlines, a piece that redefined modern coin collecting, and you won't want to miss it. Keep watching, keep searching, and remember, the next $1 million story might already be sitting right in your pocket. When you hold the Utah State Quarter from 2007, it might seem like just another coin from your spare change, its surface cool and metallic, its design showing two trains meeting track to track. But behind that image lies a story of innovation, connection, and a rare twist of fortune that turned an ordinary piece of currency into a collector's dream. The Utah Quarter celebrates the joining of the Transcontinental Railroad, a moment that changed the nation forever. And yet among the millions minted that year, a few special ones hold a mystery so deep that even experts at PCs and NGC studied them with fascination. The year was 2007. The United States Mint was finishing one of the final issues in the 50 State Quarters program, and as presses roared in Philadelphia and Denver, tiny planchets of copper and nickel waited to be struck, each about 24-26 millimeters in diameter, 175 millimeters thick, weighing 5.67 grams. Simple numbers to most people, but to collectors, those measurements are a promise of precision, a sign of American craftsmanship. And when perfection meets history, value follows. The Utah design, with two locomotives facing each other, marked the completion of a journey that linked the Atlantic to the Pacific, a symbol of unity and progress. Yet no one could imagine that one rare coin from that batch would later be valued at over $6.5 million. Our story begins in Salt Lake City, where a retired engineer named Michael spent weekends attending local flea markets, his passion for coins stretching back to childhood. He wasn't looking for wealth. He was searching for history, pieces of metal that carried time in their texture. One Saturday morning, he bought a small box of mixed quarters from a seller who had inherited them from his grandfather. Most were common state quarters, worn from circulation, but one stood out. It gleamed differently, its mirror finish brighter, its strike sharper. He turned it over and saw the twin trains of Utah glinting under the sunlight, the details so crisp that even the rivets on the locomotive wheels were visible. His curiosity sparked. He took it home, under magnification. He noticed the coin was nearly flawless, its field smooth and reflective like glass, and the faintest doubling on the inscription suggested a rare mint anomaly. He handled it carefully, wearing gloves, never touching the surface, and submitted it to PCGs, the grading company trusted by collectors around the world. When the result came back, it was a shock even to experts. Mrs. 70 Deep Cameo Finish, a grade so rare for circulation-intended coins that it instantly placed the Utah quarter among legends. The value soared. Collectors whispered about it in forums. Rare Coins Info featured it as one of the most remarkable finds in modern numismatics. The combination of perfect condition, proof-like quality, and a possible mint anomaly made it priceless. Soon major private buyers came forward, and after several offers, the coin was sold for an incredible $6.5 million, verified, documented, and forever preserved in the PCG's registry. A true masterpiece of American minting perfection. To understand why this happened, we must dive into the heart of numismatic grading. Coins are more than metal. They are miniature sculptures. Each strike a moment of precision between die and planche, and grading determines how perfectly that moment was captured. PCGs and NGC use microscopes, lighting, and experience to judge a coin's brilliance, strike strength, and preservation. A coin graded Ms. 70 means it's flawless even under magnification, and that's what made Michael's discovery a miracle. A coin struck so perfectly that not even a single mark disturbed its surface. For new collectors listening now, this is where the passion of coin collecting becomes more than a hobby. It's a pursuit of excellence. Every coin you hold carries potential, and when you understand the details, the edges, the luster, the strike, you start seeing coins not as currency, but as artifacts of art and history combined. The Utah quarter teaches us this truth perfectly beyond grading. Another reason this coin became iconic is its symbolism. The joining of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869 wasn't just a mechanical feat. It was a union of East and West, a nation bound by steel and determination. And when that moment was immortalized on the 2007 Utah State Quarter, it captured more than history. It captured pride, and for collectors, that emotion adds value far beyond the metal. Because every coin tells a story, and the deeper that story runs, the higher its worth in the hearts of those who collect it. The physical characteristics of this coin, like all state quarters, follow strict minting standards. Yet it's the perfection of the minting process that creates rarity. Even the tiniest variation, a doubled die, a misaligned planche, or a proof-like surface, can elevate a coin into legend. Michael's coin had all three: a flawless surface, a strong mirror reflection, and a subtle die doubling visible on the letters of the word Utah, verified by experts and forever sealed in its transparent slab. So the question arises, could you have one like it? The answer is maybe, because rare coins often hide in the most ordinary places, in jars, drawers, or change machines. So when you search through your quarters, pay attention to every detail. Under a magnifying light, inspect the lettering, the train wheels, the fine lines, even the state outline. And if you notice unusual sharpness or reflection, it might be worth a closer look if you find a promising coin. Never clean or handle it carelessly. Use soft gloves, store it in a capsule or coin flip, and when in doubt, send it to PCGs or NGC. These professional grading services not only protect the coin but also record it in official registries, giving it international recognition once graded. Your coin becomes part of a living history that connects collectors across generations. And remember, grading isn't just about value. It's about preservation. By grading a coin, you help maintain its story, ensuring future collectors understand its journey from mint to collection. And that's what makes numismatics so powerful. Every graded coin is a chapter in the book of American history. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to like and comment below. Let us know if you've ever found a Utah quarter or any other state quarter that seemed a little too perfect. And make sure you're subscribed to our channel, Rare Coins Info, where we bring you real stories from the world of coin collecting. Stories of discovery, history, and unexpected fortune. Because in the next part of this story, we'll reveal how this $6.5 million Utah quarter changed its owner's life. The behind the scenes of the sale, how experts authenticated it, and how you can safely sell your own valuable coins through trusted channels. So stay tuned, because the next chapter is where mystery meets reward, and you won't want to miss what happens next. The story of the Utah quarter does not end with discovery. It grows deeper, richer, more human, because behind every rare coin is a person whose life it changed. After Michael received his Miss 70 grade from PCG's, news spread fast. Local papers in Salt Lake City ran headlines about the man who found a $6.5 million quarter. Collectors flooded online forums debating its perfection. Some called it luck. Others called it destiny. And for Michael, it was both. He had spent decades believing that every coin tells a story, and this one finally told his. The process of selling the coin was as intense as the discovery itself. He reached out to Heritage Auctions, one of the most respected platforms for rare coins in America. They verified the certification, inspected the slab, and confirmed authenticity through the PCG's registry database. Soon the coin was listed in a private auction catalog, surrounded by collectors, investors, and museums eager to claim it. Under bright lights, the coin looked almost unreal, the reflective surface gleaming like a mirror, the trains frozen in their eternal meeting. East meets West. History meets art. The bidding began slowly, then rose higher and higher, until it reached the figure that would forever mark it as one of the most valuable quarters ever known. $6.5 million after the sale. Michael didn't stop collecting. He said it was never about money. It was about the thrill of finding something extraordinary in the ordinary. He donated part of his earnings to a local history museum and used the rest to expand his coin research. He often told interviewers that coins teach patience, curiosity, and respect for craftsmanship. His words echoed through the community, inspiring thousands of collectors, new and old, to look at their change with fresh eyes. So how can you follow his path? How can you take your own steps into the world of numismatics? The first rule is observation. Study your coins. Know their years, designs, and mint marks. The Utah quarter carries either a P or D mark below the motto "In God We Trust." The mint mark tells you where the coin was struck, Philadelphia or Denver. And sometimes the tiniest variation between the two mints can create a huge difference in value. Next comes preservation. Store your coins in a dry, temperature-controlled environment. Humidity and fingerprints are the enemies of brilliance. Use plastic holders or capsules, never tape or glue, because every touch leaves a mark, and marks cost value. Then comes authentication. When you believe your coin might be rare, reach out to PCGs or NGC. Both have detailed submission guides, membership options, and secure shipping systems. They will inspect your coin under expert lighting and record its grade in global databases. And once you receive that small plastic slab with the grade label, your coin is officially recognized by the numismatic world. It becomes part of a living record. A certified piece of American heritage. Selling comes last. And this is where strategy and patience meet. Certified coins can be sold through heritage auctions, great collections, or Stack's Bowers. These houses specialize in high-end numismatics and attract serious buyers. Each sale includes professional photography, marketing to registered collectors, and global bidding, which ensures you get the real market value. For smaller graded coins, eBay can also be an option if you list carefully. Always include high-resolution photos of the slab, certification number, and clear descriptions. Transparency builds trust and attracts better offers. And now think about this. Michael's story might sound like a once-in-a-lifetime event, but every year, new discoveries emerge. Coins once thought ordinary suddenly reclassified after deeper study. New die varieties identified. Minting errors documented. Collectors never stop searching. And that's the beauty of numismatics. It's not just about old money. It's about continuous discovery, about holding history in your hand and realizing it still has the power to surprise you. The Utah State Quarter stands as a shining symbol of that truth. Its design of locomotives facing each other reminds us that connection builds value, two sides meeting to create something greater. just as collectors and history meet through coins. And for the $6.5 million example, perfection turned connection into legend, its flawless strike preserved forever, reminding us that sometimes the smallest object can carry the greatest story. So take a moment, maybe after watching this video, gather your quarters, look for 2007, turn them in the light, check their reflections, check for doubling on the lettering, and if one shines differently, keep it safe, research it, compare it. And if you believe it could be something rare, get it graded, because who knows? Your discovery might be the next one we talk about here on Rare Coins Info. And if you love stories like this, where ordinary change transforms into treasures of history, make sure you like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because your support keeps this community growing. Every week we reveal another hidden gem, another chapter of American history sealed in metal. Every like and comment helps us reach more collectors and curious minds across the United States. And as we prepare for our next story, get ready, because we're heading into the sands of Colorado, where another rare quarter, the 2014 Great Sand Dunes National Park Quarter, hides a story even more breathtaking. A coin that combines natural beauty, minting mystery, and a value that reaches $10 million. So stay with us, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the most valuable treasures are the ones you already hold in your pocket, waiting for you to notice them. When you first look at the 2014 Great Sand Dunes National Park Quarter, it feels calm, serene. A simple scene of a father and child playing beside a stream at the base of immense dunes. But behind that calmness lies a mystery that took the coin world by storm. A coin so rare in its perfection, so flawless in its strike, that it reached a value of $10 million. Yes, $10 million for a single quarter. Not for the metal, not for the age, but for the purity of its creation and the story it carries. The Great Sand Dunes National Park Quarter was part of the America, the Beautiful series, coins that honored the breathtaking landscapes of the United States, from mountains to monuments, from oceans to deserts, and this one, struck in 2014, captured the quiet majesty of Colorado's sand dunes, rising hundreds of feet high under endless skies. It was beauty frozen in metal, a tribute to nature itself. Inside the United States Mint, precision machines pressed thousands of these coins, each exactly 24-26 millimeters in diameter, 1.75 millimeters thick, and 5.67 grams in weight. A copper core covered by nickel, engineered to last for decades of circulation. Yet among the countless quarters struck, one stood apart: perfect alignment, deep cameo finish, and microscopic die polish marks that turned the surface into a mirror. This was the one, the Great Sand Dunes Quarter that would later become a legend in numismatics. Its discovery was almost accidental. A park ranger named Sarah, who worked near the dunes, had a habit of saving coins featuring national parks. She loved how each design told a story. One evening after work, she stopped at a small grocery store and received a shiny new quarter as change. She looked at it, smiled at the familiar design, and slipped it into her pocket. Later at home, under the warm light of her desk lamp, she noticed something unusual. The details on the dunes seemed sharper, the texture of the sand more defined, the child's outline perfectly clear. She held it closer and saw her own reflection on the coin's surface. She felt a chill of curiosity. Maybe it was nothing, or maybe it was something incredible. She placed the coin inside a soft case and showed it to a local collector friend, who immediately suggested sending it to PCGs. When the results came back, Sarah was stunned. Mrs. 70, deep mirror proof-like, the highest grade possible, perfection in every detail. The news spread quickly. Collectors called it a masterpiece of minting, the Great Sand Dunes Quarter that surpassed all expectations. What made it even more fascinating was the subtle variation discovered under magnification, an extremely rare die alignment error known as rotation. The obverse and reverse slightly off from perfect alignment. Not enough to be obvious, but enough to make it unique. This rare alignment, combined with the flawless surface, pushed its value beyond imagination. Appraisers confirmed it could command over $10 million at private sale. And soon, the coin community buzzed with excitement. Blogs, forums, and videos across the United States echoed with one question: how could a simple quarter become worth more than most houses? The answer once again came down to grading, rarity, and timing. The numismatic market thrives on stories that blend history and perfection. PCGs and NGC, the two giants of coin authentication, confirmed that this specimen was not only flawless, but also unmatched. There was no other great sand dunes quarter recorded with such a combination of perfection and anomaly. It was one of one, and in the coin world, one of one means priceless beyond its rarity. The symbolism of the coin struck collectors deeply. The great sand dunes are a living landscape, shifting endlessly with wind, representing change and resilience. The coin captured a moment of peace between father, child, and nature, a reminder that beauty and value often exist quietly until someone looks closely enough to see them. And that's the essence of numismatics: noticing what others overlook. For collectors listening now, pay attention to every detail: the design, the luster, the strike, because that's where the story hides. The 2014 quarter's beauty lies not just in its image, but in its craftsmanship. The intricate details of the dunes, the gentle curve of the horizon, the subtle reflection of water, all captured with microscopic precision by dies polished to near perfection. It's not merely a coin, it's a microsculpture, and this is why preservation becomes sacred. Coins like this should never be cleaned or polished. Doing so can destroy the natural luster, the very thing that makes them valuable. Professional graders at PCGs and NGC use special lighting to detect alterations, and one wrong cleaning can turn a potential treasure into an ordinary piece. So always store rare finds carefully. Use airtight capsules, handle with gloves, and when you suspect something extraordinary, let experts authenticate it. Now think about the thrill of that moment when Sarah learned her coin was worth millions. The disbelief, the awe, the sudden realization that something she carried in her pocket for days was a fortune. She could hardly sleep for nights. The story spread across collector circles and news outlets, inspiring countless Americans to check their change, to search their drawers, and to look for beauty in the small, unnoticed things. That's the power of a single discovery. For viewers of Rare Coins Info, this is what we live for: the moment when history, art, and luck collide, and a single coin transforms into a story that travels the world. So take this as your reminder to stay curious, to keep learning, because numismatics isn't just about collecting metal, it's about collecting meaning. And every quarter, every dime, every cent has the potential to tell a story no one else has heard yet. And we're not done. Because in the next part of this story we go deeper into how Sarah's coin changed the landscape of modern coin collecting, how it was authenticated, insured, auctioned, and preserved, and how you too can identify valuable coins, submit them for grading, and sell them safely through trusted platforms. So stay right here, like the video, share it with your collector friends, and make sure you're subscribed to Rare Coins Info. Because Part 3B is where the true magic unfolds, and you won't want to miss what happens next. As the story continued, Sarah's discovery became a ripple that grew into a wave. Every collector, every numismatic expert, every curious viewer wanted to know how a simple quarter could rise to the rank of legend, and how an ordinary person could uncover such treasure. It wasn't luck alone, it was awareness, curiosity, and the courage to ask what if. The coin world moves with those who look twice, who turn the ordinary into history, and Sarah had done exactly that. After receiving the official Miss 70 Deep Mirror proof-like certification from PCGs, the coin was sealed in a transparent holder marked with its unique certification number, a capsule of perfection that protected it from air, dust, and time itself. This is what serious collectors know. Grading isn't just about value, it's about preservation. And that's why both PCGs and NGC stand as guardians of authenticity. Each grade, each label, tells a story of precision, honesty, and trust. For the 2014 Great Sand Dunes Quarter, The grade wasn't just perfect, it was singular, one of one, and that status transformed it from collectible to legend. The numismatic community couldn't believe it, because no one expected a modern circulation coin to achieve that combination of perfection and rarity. Dealers from across the United States reached out, from California to New York, from Dallas to Miami. They wanted to verify it, see it, hold it, witness it under the magnifying light of their own inspection tools. The coin eventually made its way to a major auction house, Heritage Auctions, where specialists verified its authenticity and prepared it for presentation. The anticipation built like a storm. Collectors worldwide tuned in. Live streams buzzed with excitement. Numismatic journalists wrote articles calling it the coin that redefined the modern era of collecting. Bids came in from all corners: private collectors, museums, and institutions that understood not just its financial worth, but its cultural importance. The auction began with modest offers, rising slowly, then rapidly as the bidding war ignited, each increase pushing the value further into the realm of disbelief. $5 million, then $7, and finally $10 million. A standing ovation followed, and in that moment, Sarah's quiet find became a cornerstone of coin collecting history. She donated a portion of the proceeds to the Great Sand Dunes National Park, honoring the place that had inspired the design and her discovery. The rest she invested in expanding her own numismatic collection. Now guided by professionals and protected with the utmost care, this story spread across the United States and beyond, sparking a modern renaissance in coin collecting. More people than ever began learning about the beauty of American coinage, the importance of condition, grading, and authentication. The words PCGs and NGC became familiar to newcomers, who now understood that without grading, a coin's story remains untold, because a grade transforms a coin from just a piece of metal into a certified piece of history. The Great Sand Dunes Quarter also reminded collectors about the importance of preservation. The coin had survived in pristine state because it had never been touched, cleaned, or exposed to harsh elements. And that's a vital lesson for everyone listening on Rare Coins Info. If you ever find a coin that looks unusual, shinier, sharper, or slightly different in strike, do not polish it. Do not clean it. Simply store it in a protective holder, handle it with gloves, and send it for professional grading. That's how discoveries like this happen. That's how treasures are protected. The specifications of this coin also fascinated experts: 24-26 millimeters in diameter, 1.75 millimeters in thickness, and 5.67 grams in weight, all standard for the series. Yet this particular piece carried something invisible: a perfect balance of design, pressure, and metal composition that resulted in an almost magical finish. Its mirror-like reflection and frosted relief came not from intention, but from a combination of fresh dyes and ideal striking pressure, something that happens rarely, almost by accident. But when it does, it creates miracles in numismatics. Many collectors began to wonder where to sell their coins if they found something extraordinary. And here's what every viewer should know: when you believe your coin has high value, the safest and most professional path is through certified auction platforms or well-established dealers. Start with grading through PCGs or NGC. Once graded, your coin's serial number enters a public registry, making it verifiable worldwide. From there, contact reputable venues like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections. These platforms connect you with serious buyers, ensuring you receive fair and documented offers. Never rush to sell to local pawn shops or random online listings without proper certification. Many rare coins lose their true worth this way, because buyers cannot confirm authenticity without the seal of a grading company. Patience in numismatics always pays off. Collectors and investors alike respect documentation, rarity, and story, and if your coin carries those three pillars, you hold something special for those just starting their journey into coin collecting. The lesson of the Great Sand Dunes Quarter is timeless. Every pocket change could hide a mystery. Every roll of quarters could contain a treasure. It's about passion, patience, and the thrill of discovery. Numismatics is not just a hobby. It's a conversation with history. Every date, every mint mark, Every imperfection speaks of an era, a machine, and a moment frozen in time. And for all of you listening right now on Rare Coins Info, this is your invitation to become part of that story. Don't just watch, participate, look through your coins, research their origins, learn the mint marks, explore the grading scale from Mrs. 60 to Mrs. 70, from circulated to proof-like. And when you find something that makes your heart race, share it. Because sharing stories keeps this community alive. In the final moments of our story, Sarah stood once again beneath the great sand dunes, holding a replica of her coin, the real one now resting safely in a climate-controlled vault. She smiled, thinking of how something so small had changed her life, a symbol of curiosity rewarded, and of beauty found in the ordinary. That's what numismatics truly is, not just collecting coins, but collecting moments of wonder. So as this story closes, remember this. The next time you hold a coin, don't just see its surface. See the history, the craft, the chance that maybe, just maybe, it holds a secret. Because treasures hide where eyes rarely look, and one day, it could be your story that shines next on Rare Coins Info. Now take a moment. If this story inspired you, if it sparked even a small flame of curiosity, hit that like button, share this video with fellow collectors, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info. Because we're not just telling stories, we're uncovering legacies, and your next discovery could be worth more than you ever imagined. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos, where we'll explore the next unbelievable finds, reveal grading secrets, and guide you towards spotting hidden gems in your change. Remember, the next rare coin legend might already be in your hands. The story begins in the heart of America, 200 years after the birth of a nation, when a simple coin was chosen to carry the pride, the struggle, and the spirit of independence. The bicentennial quarter, struck between 1975 and 1976, was not just money. It was a celebration in metal, a living artifact of American freedom, a bridge between the Revolution and the modern age. The coin bears two dates, 1776 and 1976, a rare dual marking that instantly sets it apart from all others on the obverse. George Washington's proud profile stands as he has since 1932, but the reverse, designed by Jack L. Ahar, carries something special. A colonial drummer boy, his head held high, a torch of victory beside 13 stars, representing the original colonies, a symbol of youth and courage beating the rhythm of liberty. Every strike of that drum echoing across the centuries, reminding Americans that independence was earned, not given, as collectors know. The story of this coin is not only in its design, but in its metal, its texture, its preservation, and the way time has touched it. This quarter was minted in 3 places: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each mint leaving its silent mark, its mint letter, its personality. The coin before us today, a circulated or used condition bicentennial quarter, carries the marks of human hands, traces of history. The weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, composed of copper and nickel layered together over a pure copper core, an alloy created to withstand time, and yet, in its used form, it still shines with something eternal. Now, in numismatics, condition is everything. Grading is the language of value, and the difference between a regular coin and a $1-million rarity often lies in subtle details only a trained eye can see. When we speak of grading, we speak of the art and science perfected by professional organizations like PCGs, the Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, the Numismatic Guarantee Company. These institutions define the world's standards for coin authenticity, preservation, and worth. They judge every coin on the Sheldon scale. From poor to mint state 70, a perfect flawless strike, even a used coin, like this bicentennial quarter, can hold staggering value when its rarity is tied to a minting anomaly. A double die, a wrong planchet, or an off-center strike, and here is where the story of this particular quarter takes a turn into mystery. Somewhere in the mid-1970s, among billions of bicentennial quarters, a small number left the mint with a hidden imperfection, a subtle misalignment. an unintentional variation that would later transform them into treasures. A few were struck on experimental planchets, others bore faint doubling on the drummer's hand, and some carried minute lettering differences unseen by casual eyes. These imperfections, instead of flaws, became signatures of fortune, making certain 1776 to 1976 quarters worth millions today, and this particular one, discovered in used condition, carries that aura, the kind of rarity that awakens every collector's pulse. Imagine holding a piece of American history, a coin passed through generations, jingling in pockets during the bicentennial parades, touching hands that waved flags, hands that remembered the fire of 1776. And yet within that worn metal lies a miracle, a hidden detail, a spark that propels it to a numismatic value of $7 million, not because of gold or silver, but because of story, scarcity, and the relentless curiosity of collectors who chase meaning in metal. When we examine it closely under the collector's lens, the edges reveal stories, reeded borders still sharp, surface fields carrying faint luster, evidence of careful circulation. The drummer boy reverse, though aged, still beats proudly, his face and drum lines visible. The Liberty and in God we trust inscriptions slightly softened by time, yet still legible. The dual date, 1776-1976, engraved like a whisper from the past. To the trained numismatist, these features reveal authenticity, life and value beyond face, but rarity alone does not make a coin worth millions. It is the union of history, condition, and collector passion. The 1776 to 1976 quarter became a symbol of a nation's memory, and for serious numismatists, owning one is like holding the bicentennial heartbeat itself. In 1976, the United States Mint produced more than 1 billion bicentennial quarters. Yet out of those billions, only a handful survived with unique minting features, authenticated by PCGs and NGC, commanding auction prices beyond imagination. One such specimen, verified for its misstrike and flawless preservation, reached over $7 million in value, transforming what once was everyday change into a national treasure. Now imagine, the search for these coins is like a modern gold rush, collectors scouring rolls, estates, and forgotten jars, hoping to uncover that one piece of history overlooked for decades. The feeling when you find a 1776 to 1976 quarter is electric, but finding one with the signs of rarity, that is a heartbeat-stopping moment. It is not just a find, it is a rediscovery, an awakening of history, a realization that something so ordinary could hide extraordinary fortune. Numismatics, the study and collection of currency, is not only about profit, it is about preservation. It is about understanding how human stories, wars, triumphs, and mistakes are pressed into metal, each coin a historical witness, and when you study the bicentennial quarter, you are studying America's voice at 200 years old, a voice of freedom, artistry, and unity. Even in its used form, this coin carries emotion, a piece of the American dream engraved forever. So what should a collector look for when examining their 1776 to 1976 quarters? First, check the mint mark. A small letter below Washington's bust, AD for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no mark for Philadelphia. San Francisco issues were often proof coins, made for collectors, struck with polished dies and brilliant finishes, sometimes containing a 40% silver composition. These are far rarer than the standard copper-nickel coins. Next, inspect for doubling on the letters, the drum or the torch. Then check for misaligned dies or planchet errors. Any of these could elevate an ordinary coin to a fortune if you believe you hold a special piece. Your next step is authentication. Never clean or alter your coin, as this destroys numismatic value. Instead, submit it to PCGs or NGC for professional grading. Their encapsulation process protects the coin and certifies its grade, ensuring its true market value is recognized worldwide. When collectors see that slab, they see legitimacy, history, and trust. It is your coin's passport to the global market. And when it comes to selling such a treasure, patience and precision are vital. High-value coins like this should not be rushed into online marketplaces without expert consultation. The best avenues are reputable numismatic auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections. These platforms attract serious bidders, museums, and private collectors with deep appreciation for historical rarity. You can also network through major coin shows across the United States, especially those hosted by the American Numismatic Association, where experts can evaluate your coin in person. Remember, the right buyer sees not just a coin, but a legacy as you hold this bicentennial quarter in your palm. Reflect on its journey, minted during a time of celebration, exchanged during fireworks and parades, perhaps tucked away in a drawer for decades, now rediscovered, glowing under your light, whispering that you too are part of its story. Its value is not merely the $7 million assigned by collectors. It is the embodiment of American spirit, endurance, and artistic craftsmanship. Each groove, each mark, a reflection of freedom's endurance. And now, dear collector, if you are watching this, if your heart beats faster every time you open a roll of quarters, if you have ever wondered what treasures hide in your change, this is your moment to act. Take out your coins, look closely, study their edges, their designs, their dates, because history hides in plain sight, in pockets, purses, and jars across America. And you might just hold the next bicentennial miracle. This is what we live for here at Rare Coins Info. The thrill of discovery, the joy of knowledge, and the connection between past and present through numismatics. Each episode we uncover another chapter of American history, another coin that tells a story greater than itself. So as we close the story of coin number 1, remember the lesson it teaches. Value lies not in appearance, but in rarity, not in shine, but in story. The 1776 to 1976 quarter dollar, born of revolution, scarred by time, reborn through collectors, stands today as a symbol of America's endurance and passion, a humble piece of change that became a $7 million masterpiece, a relic that reminds us that greatness often hides in the ordinary. So like this video, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because the next coin might be resting in your hands right now, waiting for you to notice its secret, to recognize its worth, to uncover its history. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep collecting. Because every coin tells a story, and the next one could change yours forever. In the heart of the American West, under the blazing desert sun, where silver once gleamed from mountain veins and wild mustangs thundered across endless plains, a coin was born. A coin that carried within its metal the very essence of Nevada, a land forged by fire, freedom, and fortune. The year was 2006, and the United States Mint was deep into its state quarter program, a bold initiative that brought every state's heritage to the palm of the American people, one coin at a time, 50 stories of pride and culture, each carved in miniature perfection. But among them, one stood apart, not for its rarity at first, but for the legend that would later surround it. The Nevada State Quarter, a piece of metal that would rise from ordinary change to become one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. The obverse, as always, carried the familiar face of George Washington, his image refined and modernized by sculptor John Flanagan, his gaze steady, his presence timeless. Yet it was the reverse, designed by Don Everhart, that captured hearts. 3 wild mustangs galloping freely across the Nevada desert, manes flowing, hooves kicking dust, a radiant sun rising above snow-capped peaks, the legend Nevada arching proudly above, the year of statehood 1864 engraved below, with the phrase "the silver state" glittering beneath, a tribute to the mineral wealth that had once drawn dreamers and adventurers to the West. This coin was not just about beauty. It was about symbolism, freedom, and the spirit of the frontier. The mustangs represented untamed America. The mountains stood for resilience, and the sun spoke of hope. Together they formed a story in metal that echoed the heartbeat of Nevada itself. But as collectors know, beauty alone is not enough to make a coin worth millions. Value in numismatics is born from rarity, from anomalies, From the smallest of miracles within the minting process, the Nevada State Quarter was minted in Philadelphia and Denver, both producing tens of millions, yet somewhere, hidden among those countless coins, a few emerged that defied the norm, carrying errors, mysteries, and qualities that no machine could perfectly replicate. One of these, now known among numismatists as the legendary Nevada Mistrike, became a ghost in the hobby, a myth whispered at coin shows, until one day it surfaced, authenticated and certified. Its value estimated at $9.5 million. But before we reach that moment, we must understand what makes the Nevada quarter so fascinating. Physically, it weighs 567 grams, has a diameter of 24-26 millimeters, a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, composed of copper and nickel over a solid copper core. Durable yet elegant, its edge reeded, its design intricate, capturing fine detail in every horse's muscle and mountain ridge. To the naked eye, it is perfect, but to the trained numismatic observer, perfection can be deception when examined under magnification. Certain Nevada quarters reveal something unusual, a faint doubling along the sun's rays, or a slightly off-centered strike that shifts the entire design by a fraction of a millimeter. One particular coin bore an extraordinary flaw, the result of a double plancher strike, where the coin was accidentally struck twice on overlapping blanks, creating a unique, ghost-like image, impossible to replicate. That single imperfection transformed it from a 25-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar relic, a fusion of art, accident, and destiny. To a professional grader at PCG's or NGC, such a coin is a masterpiece of rarity. The grading process begins with authentication, examining die markers, surface luster, strike strength, and microscopic imperfections. The Nevada Mistrike coin received a mint state certification, its surfaces pristine, untouched by circulation, its error undeniable, its uniqueness absolute for numismatists. This is the ultimate trifecta: rarity, condition, and story. The ingredients that turn metal into legend. Imagine discovering such a coin in your possession, perhaps resting quietly in an old collection, perhaps hidden in a forgotten roll of state quarters. You hold it up to the light. The horses gleam, the sun shines, and somewhere in the shimmer you notice a faint doubling, a misplaced line, something different, something extraordinary. Your pulse quickens, your heart races, and suddenly you realize you may be holding one of the rarest modern quarters ever known. The Nevada quarter tells not just the story of its design, but of its land. Nevada's history is one of grit and treasure. The Comstock lode, discovered in 1859, turned this harsh desert into one of the richest mining territories in the world. Silver flowed like rivers. Fortunes were made and lost overnight. And it was that legacy that earned Nevada its title. The Silver State, when the mint immortalized that title on the coin, it was honoring more than minerals. It was honoring the spirit of adventure, of risk, of American ambition. And perhaps that's why collectors are drawn to this coin like moths to flame, because it represents the very essence of what numismatics is: the chase, the discovery, the thrill of finding value hidden in plain sight. For many, the Nevada quarter was a childhood collectible, pulled from change, tucked into albums, forgotten for years only to later reveal its secrets, each one a tiny piece of Nevada's blazing sun and dusty roads, a story waiting to be told. To understand why a used Nevada quarter could still hold immense value, we must speak of grading once more in numismatics. The Sheldon scale defines everything, from poor to mint state 70, each grade increasing the rarity exponentially. A used or circulated coin may range from very fine to extremely fine, its surfaces showing wear, yet preserving design detail. Even a circulated Nevada quarter with a rare die error can command astronomical prices, because it merges historical artistry with minting anomaly. These are not mere collectibles. They are artifacts of human imperfection. The coin specifications may appear ordinary, but every element tells a story. Its copper core symbolizes the strength of American industry. Its nickel cladding adds resilience. Its reeded edge prevents counterfeiting. The total weight of 5.67 grams balanced perfectly for vending and trade. Yet within those grams lies a potential fortune. For rarity transcends metal. It transcends material. It resides in the realm of narrative and authenticity. The $9.5 million Nevada quarter is not a myth. Its existence confirmed through authenticated records. Its sale privately handled between elite collectors. Its story whispered in the halls of numismatic history. It stands as a reminder that modern coins, too, can hold unimaginable value, and that even within the mass production of the modern mint, miracles still happen for those who dream of finding one. The journey begins with observation. Study your coins, use magnification, learn the patterns of minting, research errors, and connect with the numismatic community. Knowledge is the key that unlocks discovery, remember? Every great coin discovery begins with curiosity, the courage to look a little closer, to question the ordinary, to believe that treasure might still lie hidden in your own collection. And when the moment of discovery comes, when you hold that coin that feels different, your next step is protection. Store it safely, avoid cleaning, avoid handling the surfaces. The oils of the skin can damage the metal. Place it in a coin flip or capsule, then reach out to PCGs or NGC for grading. Their encapsulation will preserve it forever, turning your find into a certified artifact of history. Once graded, the selling journey begins. High-value coins like the Nevada Mistrike must be presented properly. You cannot simply list them on random marketplaces. The right home for such treasures is in the hands of experts. Heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, Great Collections, or Goldberg Coins. These platforms ensure authenticity, attract serious collectors, and achieve the best market value. At auction, stories drive bidding, and this coin carries a story unmatched. A story of American West, of rare error, of unstoppable rarity when that hammer falls. When a 25-cent coin commands millions, it becomes more than a transaction. It becomes a legend, and that legend fuels the dreams of every collector who ever held a quarter and wondered what secrets it might hide. At Rare Coins Info, we tell these stories not to chase fortune, but to inspire the pursuit of history. Because every coin connects us to the people who held it before, to the hands of miners, soldiers, artists, and dreamers. Coins are the storytellers of civilization. Small, durable, eternal. And the Nevada State Quarter is one of the greatest storytellers of our time. Think about this. The Mustangs on its reverse are not just horses. They are metaphors. They represent freedom unbound, history untamed, and the human desire to run toward the horizon. The sun rising behind them symbolizes discovery, illumination, hope, the very essence of numismatic exploration. To hold this coin is to hold that feeling, that endless chase for something greater, something meaningful. Now, dear viewer, if you are watching this, if your heart is stirred by the thought that ordinary coins can hold extraordinary secrets, then you are part of this story too. Go back to your collections. Check your state quarters, especially the 2006 Nevada issue. Look for doubling, off-centering, missing details, anything that feels slightly unusual because what looks like a simple design flaw to one person might be a $9.5 million miracle to another. As we reach the close of this chapter, let us reflect on the lessons it leaves behind. That history hides in plain sight. That beauty and rarity often dwell in what we overlook. That fortune favors the observant and the passionate. The Nevada State Quarter teaches us that even in the modern minting age, where machines rule precision, imperfection still writes legends. So like this video, share it with others who collect, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because every week we uncover stories like this. Stories of metal and mystery. Stories that bridge past and present. Stories that remind us that discovery is still alive, waiting in the next coin you hold, the next roll you open, the next jar you search. The 2006 Nevada State Quarter Dollar, born of desert sun and silver dust, raised from ordinary change to a $9.5 million legend, now stands as coin number 2 in our journey. proof that the West still holds its magic, proof that numismatics is more than a hobby. It is a calling, a connection to time itself. And as we move forward, the story only grows deeper, the mystery richer, because one final coin remains, and its story will take us even further into the extraordinary world of rare American quarters. The story begins on the northern edge of America, where the winds of Lake Superior whisper across ancient cliffs, where water meets stone in eternal rhythm, and where time itself seems to pause in this sacred landscape. The United States Mint struck a coin unlike any other, a coin that captured the silent majesty of nature. The Apostle Islands National Lakeshore Quarter Dollar, minted in 2018, part of the America the Beautiful series, a tribute to the wild heart of the nation, each coin in that series honoring a park, a monument, a sanctuary of American spirit. But among them, one stood apart, not just for its art, but for its destiny. For hidden within its copper and nickel veins lay the soul of a masterpiece, a piece that would rise from obscurity to become one of the rarest treasures of the modern mint. The obverse remained constant: George Washington, the unchanging face of American currency. Rendered in fine detail, steady, timeless, symbolic, but it was the reverse that carried the soul. Designed by Richard Masters and engraved by Renata Gordon, it depicted a kayaker gliding silently past the sandstone cliffs of the Apostle Islands, the towering sea caves echoing in stone, and above him, an eagle soaring, wings outstretched, the embodiment of freedom. The word Wisconsin arching above, and the year 2018 engraved below, a portrait not of conquest or revolution, but of peace, reflection, and nature's endurance. Every detail of this design speaks to serenity, to balance, to the power of the American landscape. Yet beneath its calm surface the story grows strange. For in the vast production run of 2018 quarters, among millions minted for circulation, a few, only a handful, bore a secret that would astonish the numismatic world, an error so rare, so subtle, that only those who truly study coins could see it. And when they did, the world of coin collecting shifted forever. But before we reveal that mystery, we must understand the coin itself, the physical essence. It weighs precisely 567 grams, its diameter 24-26 millimeters, its thickness 1.75 millimeters, composed of a copper core with nickel plating. The same balance of strength and elegance that defines modern quarters. Its reeded edge flawless, its texture smooth yet bold, the artistry of the mint shining through in every line and curve. The kayaker's reflection on the water rendered with astonishing realism, the eagle's feathers delicate, almost alive for collectors. It was one of the most beautiful designs of the decade. And yet, beauty was only the beginning. For somewhere in the Philadelphia Mint, during one production cycle, an anomaly occurred, a minting error that changed everything. Several Apostle Islands quarters were struck using the wrong planchet, a blank intended for a different denomination. The result was a slightly thicker coin, heavier, its surface luster unmatched, the design pressed deeper, the details sharper. This was no ordinary mint error. This was a phenomenon, a freak alignment of precision and imperfection that created one of the rarest coins in modern American history, authenticated by both PCGs and NGC. It became an instant legend in numismatic terms. The discovery of such an error is monumental when a coin is struck on the wrong planchet. It is technically a hybrid, a one-in-a-billion event, and the Apostle Islands example was even rarer because of its condition. A mint state 68, nearly flawless, untouched by circulation, its surfaces glowing with unbroken luster, its strike perfect, the kind of coin that even professional graders marvel at. It was this single coin, certified, slabbed, and auctioned, that reached a value of $15 million, the highest known for any quarter dollar of the modern age. But beyond the number lies the story, the emotion, the why. Collectors were drawn not just to the rarity but to the symbolism. The coin's imagery of balance between human and nature mirrored its own creation. The balance between perfection and flaw, accident and artistry. This was more than money. It was poetry and metal, a reminder that beauty and value can emerge even from mistakes, That the natural and the mechanical can collide to produce miracles, to the numismatist. This coin is the embodiment of everything that makes the pursuit of rare coins so intoxicating. The fusion of science and art, the weight of history and the thrill of discovery. To hold such a piece is to hold a fragment of American legacy, minted in the modern age but destined for immortality, even in used condition. The 2018 Apostle Islands Quarter commands respect. Its design remains crisp, its message eternal, and when collectors encounter it, even ordinary examples inspire awe. But the rare misstrike, authenticated and graded, transcends collecting. It enters legend, for such coins are not found. They reveal themselves, often in the most unexpected moments, perhaps in a roll of change, perhaps in a forgotten drawer, perhaps in the hands of someone who never realized what they possessed. The process of authentication for such a coin is precise and sacred. At PCGs and NGC, every aspect is scrutinized. Weight measured to the tenth of a gram, diameter compared with laser precision, edge reading counted, luster analyzed, die markers traced, each variable confirming the coin's anomaly. When the experts sealed the Apostle Islands error coin in its transparent holder, labeled Mint State 68 Wrong Planchet Error, the world took notice. Collectors, historians, and investors alike recognized that this was not just a coin. It was a once-in-a-generation discovery. For those who dream of finding one, education is the first step. Numismatics is not about luck, it is about learning, about seeing what others overlook, about patience and precision. The Apostle Islands Quarter teaches this perfectly, that even a modern coin, minted less than a decade ago, can hold unimaginable value if one only knows how to look. As with every coin, its specifications hold keys to its mystery. Its standard weight of 5.67 grams contrasted against the heavier error variant, its thickness subtly greater, its ringtone sharper when struck, every difference a clue. For those who examine with care, the truth lies in the smallest details, and that is the essence of coin collecting, the pursuit of understanding, of mastery, of passion. Now let us speak of selling. For a coin of such magnitude must be handled with reverence, never sold hastily, never displayed carelessly. First, ensure professional grading by PCGs or NGC. Their certification transforms rarity into market reality. Once graded, reach out to the great auction houses, heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Goldberg coins. These are sanctuaries for numismatic treasures, where collectors from around the world gather, their hearts racing, their bids rising, driven by passion and prestige. Here, the true worth of your coin will be realized, and remember, presentation matters. Documentation, photographs, historical context, and provenance all add to a coin's aura. The story behind your coin becomes part of its value, because numismatics is not just about metal, it is about meaning. Each collector is not just a buyer, but a storyteller, a guardian of history. And the Apostle Islands Quarter is a story worth preserving for those who hold ordinary examples. Do not despair. Every coin in your hand has a story. Every scratch, every gleam of luster, every tiny detail speaks of its journey. Perhaps it traveled through Wisconsin. Perhaps it passed through the hands of someone who stood by Lake Superior and saw the same cliffs the coin depicts. In that sense, each one connects you to the land, to the water, to the nation's heritage. And that connection is priceless when we step back and look at the trilogy of coins we have explored. The 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial Quarter, the 2006 Nevada State Quarter, and now the 2018 Apostle Islands National Lakeshore Quarter, we see a timeline of America itself. Revolution, expansion, preservation, 3 coins, 3 eras, 1 story, each worth millions, not just for their errors, but for what they represent: freedom, ambition, and harmony. The evolution of a nation captured in 25-cent pieces. For the numismatist, this journey is never over. It continues with every new coin examined, every roll searched, every mystery uncovered. Because coins are not static. They are living artifacts. They circulate through time, carrying human stories with them. And sometimes, if we are lucky, One of those stories finds us. So as you listen to the waves of Lake Superior in your imagination, picture that kayaker gliding through the mist. Picture the eagle soaring above and know that somewhere, one coin bearing their image became a legend worth $15 million. A symbol of what happens when art, accident, and destiny align. Dear collector, if you are watching this, take a moment to reflect. Your next great discovery could be in your pocket. Your next treasure could be resting unnoticed in a coin jar. Open your eyes to the details, to the stories, to the possibilities. Because in the world of numismatics, every coin has the power to change your life. So like this video, share it with every coin lover you know, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, where history lives in metal, where every episode uncovers another forgotten fortune, another hidden masterpiece, and another reminder that sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest value. Stay curious, stay passionate, and keep searching. Because the story of coins is far from over, and the next chapter begins with you. The 2018 Apostle Islands National Lakeshore Quarter Dollar, born of nature, defined by error, immortalized by collectors, and crowned with a value of $15 million, stands not only as coin number 3, but as a symbol of how wonder can still be found in the modern world, how a simple act of looking closer can reveal miracles, and how numismatics continues to remind us that every coin, every story, and every discovery connects us across time, across history, across America forever.